Hello and welcome to the MotoGP Fantasy preview for the Americas GP. Round 3 of the MotoGP World Championship takes place this weekend and it's certainly going to be a big one. We've already seen some drama in the title chase and we come to it with Marco Bezzecchi at the top of the point standings. I'm not too sure many people saw that one coming early in the season. But as we do say then, we go to COTA, Circuit of the Americas, one of the most unique tracks on the calendar. So it's may as well that we bring in a genuine bona fide COTA expert in Alex Rins to talk us through how to get the best out of this circuit. Alex has won there 3 times, of course, and the only rider to win there in all 3 Grand Prix classes. So we'll say hello to Alex now and bring him in. Alex,
hello guys,
good to
how are
see
you? Jack, nice to see you again. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Good to see you. Obviously, COTA is a track that you've gone well at in the past, so I imagine that you're looking forward to this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really looking forward to start the GP weekend here in COTA, Austin. It's a track that I really enjoy. But this year is everything new. New bike, new team, new challenge. So let's see how we can do.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a big challenge. As you say, Alex, switching over from the Suzuki to the Honda. We got you a little while back to do a small video for us about the keys, how to master the COTA circuit. I just thought we'd ask you those again. Obviously, there's some tricky sections, the snaking section through the first sector, but also then some really big braking zones. What areas of the track stand out to you as the most difficult?
For me, the most difficult part of the track is all the track. I mean, it's a really long track. After the interview that you guys filmed to me doing the keys, I was thinking, well, honestly, this circuit is all the parts, all the sectors are so difficult because it's a really long circuit. It's a circuit that the lap time is 2 minutes 2 seconds, was the pole from Martin last year. So you need to be 100% concentrate. You need to be like, you can't do any mistake during the lap or at least during the race, because then you lose a lot. Also, it's very demanding because, you know, all the first sector, you have a lot of chicanes, and plus the fully bumpy track, there are a lot of bumps. So yeah, it's very physical demanding. Let's see this year also with the sprint race how it goes. But you know, overall, apart this, is one of my favorite tracks. As you say, as you mentioned before, I get the victory in Moto3, Moto2, MotoGP. So I'm really excited to be here, to be part of this race, and yeah, let's see what we are able to do, what we are able to achieve.
Well, speaking of what you're able to achieve, obviously, you being a MotoGP rider and a 3-time winner in COTA, you're a little bit of an expert as to what might happen this weekend, even with all the change. And of course, we need you to help us fill out our MotoGP Fantasy team. So we'll bring up the team now, Alex. We did just show you very briefly who the team was, but we'll run it for you for all the viewers at home as well. So in the team at the minute, we have Pecco Bagnaia, the reigning world champion, and also Jorge Martin as the gold riders. And then in silver, we do have Raul Fernandez and Alex Marquez. Of course, Raul going well on the Aprilia, but still certainly some improvement to find. And Alex Marquez proving that on the Ducati he's doing a fine job indeed. And then in the constructor, we have Aprilia, and for the team, we have Mooney VR46. We're actually at the top of the team championship standings at the moment. So certainly a good pick there. Alex, before we even look at kind of prices on the MotoGP Fantasy game, I just wanted you to kind of pick out maybe 2 or 3 riders that really stand out to you for this weekend as ones to do very well.
Well, for sure, it's difficult.
It is.
I need to choose 3 riders, right?
2 or 3, whatever you like, or even just say 1 if it's too difficult.
For sure, I will choose myself. I will put this extra pressure to me because I have big hopes on this race. So I will choose myself. I want to leave Pecco because he's quite competitive with the Ducati, but also Martin and Alex Marquez for sure.
Yeah.
The one I will remove is Raul. Sorry, Raul. I don't have anything negative to you, but I will remove Raul.
Okay, so let's go remove Raul from our budget and let's see what that gives us. So Raul was 2.1 million, Alex. At the minute, that has given us 2.1 million. Sorry. In terms of riders who we can afford, that would give us the availability to put someone like Franco Morbidelli in, or Luca Marini, Fabio Di Giannantonio, Augusto Fernandez. Yourself is a bit too expensive for that budget at 2.4 million. Taka Nakagami, your teammate, is a little bit cheaper than yourself, 1.8 million. And there's a few others down here as well. So the question is then, do you want to take another change out to have more money first?
Let me remove Peko. He's too expensive right now.
Too expensive.
He's
Okay.
super expensive. Okay,
So
so wait,
this
go
would
up,
give us
we have 5 million now. Okay.
5.6 million.
Well,
Yes.
leave it like this. I will take the 5 million for me.
I think you need to talk to Lucio
No.
about the 5 million.
Go up a little bit, please. Go up.
Yep.
Okay.
So what are you thinking? I mean, really, we need
So
to look at prices for who we can afford.
it doesn't matter if I switch Jorge Martin to Silver Rider or Gold Rider. No, this one doesn't give me more money. No.
No. The price still remains the same. It would just mean that Jorge Martin, if you put him into your Silver Rider, would score 50% points. Your Gold Rider score 100% points, and then your Silver Rider score half the amount. Okay. So say
Okay.
if Jorge.
Let me put myself as a silver one.
Okay, so let's do yourself a silver. Where are you? Here you are. So 2.4 million, Alex. So that gives you 3.2 million left. Actually, it's added you in as, but we can switch that in a second. Don't you worry about that. So 3.2 million. Now let's scroll down and see. Yes, 3.2. So who can we afford? We can afford all of these guys. Of course, Marco Bezzecchi is not a bad shout. The rider on fire at the minute. Johan Zarco, Jack Miller, Franco Morbidelli. We can't afford Fabio. He is too expensive at 3.4. There's Luca Marini, Fabio Di Giannantonio, Augusto Fernandez, Maverick.
Okay, let me put Marco. He deserves. He finished 2 podiums in a row.
Okay. So let's confirm those trades. Do you still want to put yourself? Oh, it has added you in as silver now. Now, what you can switch these if you want to. If you wanted to put yourself in gold. So, say if you wanted to put yourself in gold for
let's go. Let's go for a big hopes. Put me in gold and put Martin on silver.
Martin is silver. Okay, so let's go move, and we can switch you there
right now.
Okay, so that has used our 2 trades, Alex. I hope this is going on your Instagram. Okay. Your team as it stands now is Marco Bezzecchi, yourself in gold, and then also Jorge Martin, Alex Marquez in silver. And then your constructor still, because we've run out of changes now, we have Aprilia, and the team is Mooney VR46. Now, one thing that you can do, Alex, if you wanted to, say if you really thought that either yourself or Marco Bezzecchi was going to win this weekend, you can click on the rider here and you can do this option to boost. This would double the amount of points that rider scores for this weekend. Okay? In fantasy, not in real life. Yes, you can just do it for one rider. Okay? So say if you thought Marco Bezzecchi was going to win.
Just if the rider wins.
No, so whatever points they score, doesn't matter if they score 1 point or 50, it will double their points.
I go for myself, yeah. You can boost me.
Yeah, you want to boost yourself?
In fancy, as you say.
Yeah, it's a shame we can't do it in real life, eh? Okay, so that is going to be your team then, Alex. Now, of course, what this does mean then is there are some big... So for anyone else watching along at home, what it means is you see how we have quite a bit of salary remaining. One good tip is always that if you can try to use up as much of your salary as possible, it's not a bad idea, because next week after this GP, the prices for riders will go up or down depending on their recent form. And you can see that form here. And Alex, I think if we actually look at your form, obviously trending upwards, 10th in the first main race, then 9th in the second Grand Prix last weekend in Argentina, or 2 weekends ago now. Coming to America, what's the target yourself here? Obviously, you've won here in the past, but maybe at this stage in your Honda career, a win is a little bit too far. But can we start looking towards kind of top 5, top 6?
Honestly, the victory is a bit far, I think. But yeah, why not? Why not? We can fight for a top 5. Yes. Yeah.
And one thing of that, Alex, is of course Marc Marquez is not going to be here this weekend as well. Last time in Argentina, you got to try a different chassis that he'd been using. I know that Bradl's going to be there this weekend. I don't know if you're still going to be able to use that chassis or not, because you said that you felt better with it.
No, I didn't. Honestly, I didn't like that much that chassis. I will start with two bikes. One bike with my standard chassis and another bike with the chassis that I try in Argentina. But the feeling was not that good with the new chassis. Well, new chassis, no, the chassis that I tried there. So let's see how it goes.
Okay, well, good luck for this weekend, Alex. Thank you very much for coming on and helping us choose our fantasy team. I know myself, and I'm sure that you, as well as all the riders, are pretty keen to see how the sprint's going to work in Austin. We know it's the horsepower rodeo, so I'm sure it'll be pretty crazy. And I imagine you're looking forward to that one on Saturday.
Thank you so much, for sure. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, guys. Thank you very much. Okay, so this is going to be Alex Rins' MotoGP Fantasy team for this weekend then. He's gone big, he's put himself in straight at gold, and he's boosted himself as well. Not a bad idea, obviously, there, as you say, with Alex pointing out that maybe the victory is going to be too much of a stretch, but certainly trending upwards at the moment and hoping to break in towards that kind of top 6, top 5 region. He's put in Marco Bezzecchi. Of course, now that we've had a few rounds, you'll be able to see on the MotoGP Fantasy game these small icons starting to appear next to certain riders. I think there is another rider with one. No, not at the moment. So Marco Bezzecchi, the only rider on fire at the moment. Of course, you can see his recent form there with third and a first in both the main Grand Prix on the Sundays so far, certainly doing a cracking job leading the championship. And then we have Jorge Martin and Alex Marquez. Alex Marquez sitting pretty at the moment, loving life on that Ducati, and we know that Jorge Martin will find his form and consistency very soon. We know he's already been fast this year with that opening sprint podium back in Portimao. Of course, we stick with Aprilia. We couldn't change any more after the 2 rider changes, and also Muni VR46. If you haven't got Muni VR46 in, make sure you get them in, because at 2.1 million, they're one of the cheaper teams. If you can scroll down here and see the team prices, you can change through the tabs, and you'll see that they're pretty cheap compared to most, particularly the factory teams, and they're right at the top of the team standings. So certainly not a bad bet. Now, we do have a couple of formalities this weekend. We mentioned that Marc Marquez won't be here. Norbel Enea Bastianini and Paul Espargaro still, as Paul continues to recover from his crash in Portimao. So replacing him, they have Jonas Folger, the KTM test rider, of course, riding for Gas, but it's all under the KTM brand and family. And then we have Stefan Bradl coming in for Marc Marquez, and also Michele Pirro will be on Enea Bastianini's machine. They're all in it at 1.5 million. So if you're a particular fan of any one of those riders, make sure you go and add them in and show them some love. So that is going to be it then for the MotoGP Fantasy preview here. Of course, if you're not signed up to MotoGP Fantasy, make sure you do head to MotoGPFantasy.com or fantasy.motogp.com and sign up. Of course, you've been playing for some prizes, and you can see them at the prizes tab right across the top of the screen. A signed helmet from the reigning world champion, even a laptop or a watch as well. And of course, one of the best ones is 2 tickets to any GP of your choice up every single week. Finally then, before we sign off for the MotoGP Fantasy team, as we see a lot of questions about it in the MotoGP Fantasy Facebook group, the prices will be updating after this Grand Prix. We had to get a little bit of a track record in to be able to make the informed choices on how those prices change. But after this GP, they will be updating. So stay tuned for that one after the Sunday. And that's going to be it then from us here at the MotoGP Fantasy preview. Enjoy the Horsepower Rodeo this weekend in COTA. It's going to be a bit of a weird one, of course. The king of COTA, Marc Marquez, is not going to be here. And Bastianini won last time, and he's not going to be here either. So there is room for a new sheriff in town. So thank you very much for joining, and enjoy the racing this weekend.